has to be, in my opinion, the best SRV song. It is just a plethora of things that you can take away, concepts to put into your own playing. So I thought what we would do is talk about a few of these things, not necessarily the individual licks, but just the ideas behind it. Before we get going, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe if you want more SRV content. I think this is the first Stevie Ray Vaughan video I've ever made, so we might make more of them. Now, if you don't know the story behind the song, it's pretty cool. So apparently what Stevie did was he went into the studio, asked the guy, the engineer, whoever it was, to turn the lights down low, and he played the entire song without a band. They actually added the drums, the bass, all that stuff later. So Stevie played all that stuff just, unaccompanied. And I'm like, who could stay in time for that long? And it just shows you how good SRV was. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about here is his left hand muting. The way he's just simply reaching over to mute all these lower strings while he plays those higher notes. This is something great you can incorporate. It doesn't have to sound like Stevie at all. Just sit there and use your thumb to mute those lower strings while you're playing the higher ones, and you get a very percussive sound. It's harder to do than what you think. That intro, man, it's pretty brutal. And one of the other things that I noticed that Stevie was doing that I just love the sound of it, the way he's sliding in and out of chords. Because you hear him go, everything is slid into, it just gives it so much, just a richer sound, versus if he just went like this. Or think about like the other part when he goes, that little section there, imagine if you didn't slide into it. So you can start just a half of a fret behind wherever you actually want to go and slide into the notes. It's a very jazz thing to kind of incorporate, but he does it all over the place whenever he does the right there. So take anything you normally do, start a half step behind it. Good old normal pentatonic scale, boom, you just went full jazz on him. And a couple final things here that I wanted to talk about, that when you're learning a song like this, you really pay attention to all the details. And I didn't play the song perfectly right. I don't think anyone's going to play it as good as Stevie. And what I noticed was the picking direction. There's a lot of situations where like that little, it kind of starts with that major 7 and ends diminished when he goes, I used to always play it like this. And Stevie does some crazy chord. I literally can't even reach the notes. But what I realized when I really paid attention to it is he's not picking down on everything. And then he goes to do the... And all just the rhythmic variations that's happening there, like he doesn't play anything the same way twice. It's always... all these little jumps are happening in there. So another little thing to take away from Stevie is just picking direction, different tones out of your pick. Watch his picking hand. Watch a live video of SRV and see how much his hand is. He's back here on the bridge. He's up here picking on the neck. He's picking up. He's using his fingers. It's wild watching how many different dynamic approaches he has. And I think that's going to be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I just wanted to throw out a couple of SRV ideas. If you guys would like to see more lick-based lessons, let me know down in the comments. If you would subscribe. And, I'm going to bounce on out of here. And we're going to go ahead and end the bluesy SRV style.